Now, here's a problem that you, I, or any other auto enthusiast has newly developed. With changing times, everything else that the auto folks called as pure has changed. I say this because the naturally aspirated engines are being replaced by forced induction ones. The V10s are being replaced by V8s, V8s by V6s, and manufacturers, to fight the regulations, are having to go to extreme lengths to mimic the sound and feel of good old days. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here so that I can be unhindered in my quest of finding out if performance cars still really thrill. And what a performance car do we have here today? The SLC 43 AMG.
It looks like it were born out of the SLK 55 AMG. Perfect roadster proportions, long bonnet, short butt, and a front that gets the new diamond grille and a new front splitter to make it look the part. On the inside, not much has changed. You get the AMG sports seats with leather and Alcantara, the steel mill center console, and the touchscreen infotainment system. The passenger cell is practical with 2 USB ports, a parcel hook, and a boot with 300 liters of space. And may I needlessly add, there are no rear seats.
So the SLC 43 AMG is the successor to the SLK 55 AMG, and as is the case with all the succeeding cars, well, this one too is less on power and is slower to 100 kmph mark. That's fine, that I understand, that's the trending thing. But what is most controversial is the fact that the engine in this car, well, it's not handcrafted meticulously by one man, as is the case with the AMG philosophy. But why? Well, to understand that, I call upon PowerDrift's yet another self-proclaimed car tester, Glenn Ivan.
Well, guten Tag viewers, and thank you for the warm and humid welcome, Rohan. Firstly, the SLC 43 AMG is not a true successor to the SLK 55 AMG, but I knew that you wouldn't understand. That is why I have done the most German thing that I could think of. I have created a detailed and elaborate presentation for you. Let's have a look at it. Alright. Okay, so here we have the SLK 350, then we have the frankly crazy SLK 55 AMG, and as you can see from the chart, the SLC 43 AMG sits smack dab right in the middle of these two cars. So you see, the way to think about this car is that it competes with Audi's S line of cars and BMW's M Sport line of cars.
Yeah, but Glenn, what about the one man, one engine philosophy that this car doesn't adhere to?
Well, that philosophy is going to continue, but not for this segment. We can expect to see more of the 43 AMG branded cars in the C-Class, and the E-Class, and so on.
So then that means that this is a marketing gimmick.
Oh, come on. Ferrari make more money selling teddy bears and selling you roller coaster rides than they do selling cars. In MBA marketing speak, think of this as making the brand more accessible to a wider demographic. And does it really matter that it has an AMG badge on it? Because Mercedes tell us that this car has on-par performance with the SLK 55, but it is lighter and it handles better.
Well, we've got the track to ourselves. Why not find it out?
Alright.
So the SLC 43 gets the same torque figures, but then the peak horsepower comes in a lot sooner.
Absolutely. So what that means is the performance is there when you need it, but with an improvement in fuel efficiency.
Right. Now let's talk about something that we haven't spoken about at all, which is the new 9G-tronic gearbox that the car gets.
I'm so glad you asked that question. In fact, I think it's one of my favorite things about this car. I knew that you wouldn't know anything about the gearbox. That's why I've done my best what a German would do and created this elaborate video to show you how it works. Check it out. What?
Now the 9G-tronic has 9 forward speeds. The first 6 gears are there for performance and acceleration, and the top 3 are there for fuel economy. And the previous 7G-tronic had a gearbox ratio of 6:1. But this gearbox has a practically unheard of ratio of 9:1.
Now what that means is you'll be going faster, consuming less fuel, and I didn't tell you the best part of all. This new gearbox is the same size as the 7G-tronic gearbox and shifts at a mind-shattering speed of 100 milliseconds, and it can handle up to 1000 Newton meters of torque.
Is there anything that you like about this car which has nothing to do with the fact that it's German?
Absolutely, I'm glad you asked. And for that, Rohan, what you have to do is press the dynamic drive select button 5 times, engage Sport Plus mode. Now what that does is it opens up a computer control actuated flap in the AMG Sports exhaust system, and all you have to do, buddy, is step on that.
I hate to confess, but Glenn was absolutely right. It made all the right cracks and pops, and the engine flipped in Sports Plus mode to make it snarl like an animal.
Quite a hot day, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'm really thirsty. Can you fetch me some water?
Sure, dude, sure.
Yeah?
Of course, why not?
Okay, thanks. Don't forget to take your laptop along.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. Well, sorry about that, guys. But then I had to do the most German thing possible. That is to say, Auf Wiedersehen. Now, to aid me in whatever it is that I want to be doing, the car gets AMG Sports suspension with adaptive damping, of course. So the ride stiffens up and the steering too is speed sensitive. Now, if I press the traction control button once, yes, the car shifts itself into sport handling, and now the steering weighs up and it gives me more feedback. Now, the Porsche 718s and the BMW Z4 are direct competition to this car. And to be honest, yes, the setup on those cars is slightly track biased in comparison to this car. But then I'm not complaining because this is a roadster and I would definitely be wanting to drive this around also in the city with the top down. And then of course what the car also gets is this limited slip differential. Basically, go hot into a corner, don't be afraid, and then just steer. And then when you think that the car is understeering, well, step on the gas. That's going to make the car pivot around itself like a battle tank does, thereby pointing the nose straight at the exit and the car shoots off. And the reason why it shoots off is of course the torque, which is 500 Newton meters that comes in at as low as 2000 RPM. Because the car is the size of a shoebox, the torque coupled with 367 horses, well, it's quite a game. So what does this sort of fun then really cost? Well, 50 lakh rupees cheaper than the predecessor, about 77 lakh rupees. I say about because if I talk too much of the price, the plot will be lost. You see, buying a roadster or a sports car for that matter is as much a hard decision as going down on a knee for the love of your life. I came here to find out if I could fall in love with this new age roadster that brags of having an AMG badge. The sun, ladies and gentlemen, is setting on all things old, and the answer is out there blowing in the wind. And instead of asking far too many questions now, I would rather prefer to absorb in the beauty for the next wallpaper in my closet.
That was pretty intense. Do let us know what you thought about the car in the comment section below. And if you haven't watched our first Game of Performance video, click right here to check it out. Huge thank you to Alienware for being super awesome and allowing us to get our hands on some incredible machines. Until next time, stay subscribed, stay notified, and most importantly, stay safe. Bye-bye.